Hey everyone, and welcome back to Season 5 of Soft Mind. I'm Dr. Kola B. We have spent our time together understanding our own healing. We've learned to build boundaries, to choose our peace, and to stop chasing. We've done the work to reclaim our own power. But even after all that healing, there's often one quiet, lingering question. A question that isn't about getting them back, but about validating our own past. It's the question that surfaces in the late hours when you're reflecting on what was real. Did they ever really love me? You ask this because their actions and their words were a constant, painful contradiction. You felt the connection, but you were met with distance. You saw glimpses of warmth, but you were left in the cold. You're not crazy. You were just trying to read a language you hadn't been taught. I'm here to give you the clinical, unvarnished truth. Yes, they likely did. But an avoidance love, filtered through their deep-seated fears, looks almost nothing like the love you've been conditioned to recognize. They don't declare it. They don't shower you with it. They don't say it. They show it in silence. They show it in the cracks of their armor, in the contradictions of their behavior. Today, we are going to explore the 5 quiet, hidden signs that an avoidant person is or was deeply in love with you, even when their actions seem to scream the opposite. This isn't a guide on how to get them back. This is a validation for your heart, a way to find peace with the past by finally learning to translate their silent, fear-based language. 1. The core conflict. Love versus fear. Before we can see the signs, we have to understand the internal war. For a person with an avoidant attachment style, their nervous system has been wired with one core operating belief: intimacy at danger. This belief, often forged in childhood experiences, dictates their behavior. Love for them is a genuine need, the human drive for connection, warmth, and belonging. Fear for them is a survival instinct, the overwhelming physiological terror of being engulfed, controlled, trapped, or ultimately abandoned because of that connection. In an avoidant person, these two forces are in a constant, brutal tug of war. What you experience as mixed signals is just the external evidence of this internal battle. The signs they are in love are not grand, romantic gestures. The signs are the small, almost invisible moments where their love momentarily wins a battle against their fear. They are acts of profound, terrified courage. 2. The 5 hidden signs they're in love. Sign number 1, uncharacteristic anxiety or jealousy. What you see, this is the most telling contradiction. The person who prides themselves on being chill, logical, and above petty drama suddenly becomes weirdly territorial. You mention a new friend at work or an old ex, and they don't get angry. They get cold. They get quiet. They become passive-aggressive, or they suddenly ask an unusually pointed, logical question about that person. The clinical decoding, this is the crack in their cool facade. Their primary fear, engulfment, is being momentarily eclipsed by an even deeper, more primal fear, the fear of loss. Their logical brain knows it's not cool to be jealous, but their attached emotional brain is panicking. They don't know how to say, "The thought of you with someone else hurts me," because that is far too vulnerable. So that fear leaks out as coldness, interrogation, or a sudden moody withdrawal. They are in that moment terrified of losing you, and they hate that feeling. Sign NARC 2, practical acts of service instead of emotional words. What you see, you're terrified to ask them for emotional support, but you casually mention your car is making a weird noise, or you're stressed about your taxes. The next day, they show up with tools, or they've researched the tax code for you. They seem comfortable, even eager to do things for you. The clinical decoding, emotional vulnerability, "Can I sit with you while you cry?" is their kryptonite. It's abstract, messy, and triggers their fear of engulfment. But practical, tangible problems, that is where they feel safe. Fixing your car, building your shelf, giving you advice, these are acts of competence. They are a way for the avoidant to say, I love you in a language that feels safe. It is their way of showing investment, care, and reliability without having to touch the terrifying world of feelings. They are trying to show you their value rather than say how they feel. Sign number 3, the digital ghost. Proximity without presence. What you see, you've broken up. You're in no contact. You feel like they vanished from the earth. But you post an Instagram story, and they are one of the first 5 people to watch it. Every single time. They don't reply, they don't like, they just watch. The clinical decoding, this is safe proximity. As we've explored, they are monitoring you. But we need to reframe this. It's not just control, though that's part of it. It's also a sign of their internal conflict. They miss you. They crave a connection to your energy. But texting you or calling you is a direct, vulnerable act that feels too risky. Watching your story is the 21st century equivalent of walking past your house just to see if the lights are on. It's a one-way, non-committal, perfectly safe way to get a hit of you and soothe their own separation anxiety, all from behind the protective wall of the screen. They can't stay away, but they're too afraid to come close. Sign number 4, the vulnerability hangover. What you see, this is the most confusing signal of all. You have a breakthrough. You're up late, you're talking, and they open up. They share a story about their childhood. They admit a fear. They seem soft, present, and totally in sync with you. You go to bed feeling like you finally connected. And the next day, they are gone, cold, distant, replying in one-word answers. It's like it never happened. You're left feeling insane. The clinical decoding. You're not insane. You just missed the real sign. The sign of love wasn't the retreat, the coldness. The sign of love was the act of opening up in the first place. That was the moment their love overpowered their fear. The vulnerability hangover is the fear kicking back in with a vengeance. Their nervous system went into panic mode after the fact, screaming, "You're exposed, you're unsafe, pull back, build the walls." The retreat isn't a sign they didn't mean it. It's a sign they did mean it, and it terrified them. Sign number 5, they stay in the room even when they're shut down. What you see, you get into a conflict. Your instinct might be to escalate, to solve it now, anxious. Their instinct is to flee, to say, "I'm done," to walk out, to stonewall, to ghost. But they don't, they stay. They might go silent, they might cross their arms, they might look at the wall, they might say, "I just can't talk about this right now." But they are physically still in the room. The clinical decoding. This is, in my opinion, the single greatest, most profound sign an avoidant person is in love. Their entire survival system, every fiber of their being, every alarm bell from their childhood is screaming at them to run, escape, and create distance. But their love for you, their commitment to the connection, is just strong enough to make them fight that instinct. They are staying in the fire, even if they're doing it badly. They're shutting down a protective mechanism, but they're not leaving. That agonizing, silent presence is the battle. It is love in its most terrified and courageous form, winning. I want to pause here, because if you have ever lived through one of these contradictory, confusing signs, if you've ever felt the whiplash of a vulnerability hangover or the coldness of a story view with no reply, go ahead and hit that like button. It's a powerful acknowledgement that this silent language is real and it's painful to decode alone. 3, the reframe. Clarity versus compassion, the final truth. So now you can see these patterns. You can see their fear-based love. And you're thinking, so what? What do I do with this? This is the most important part. This knowledge, this compassion, is not an instruction manual for you to accept breadcrumbs. It is not a reason to wait by the phone for someone who hurts you. It is not an excuse for their behavior. It is a validation for your heart. It's the tool that allows you to stop taking their behavior personally. You can finally stop asking, "What's wrong with me? Why am I not enough?" And you can start knowing, there is nothing wrong with me. I am seeing someone who is in a deep internal battle with their own fear, and their fear is bigger than their capacity to meet me. You can have compassion for their struggle and simultaneously have the clarity to know that their struggle is not your responsibility to fix. This understanding is what allows you to walk away, not with anger or bitterness. They never loved me, but with a deep, sad, profound peace. It allows you to say, I see the love that's there, and I see that it is not and may never be available to me in the way I need and deserve. I can love them and I can leave. That is the final empowered step. You see the signs, you translate the language, and you use that translation not to go back, but to finally, lovingly let go. And if you are ready to move from a place of confusion to a place of clarity, if this deep dive into their mind helps you find peace in your own, then I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Consider it a commitment to understanding the full picture so you can build your own secure future. 4. The tragedy of mismatched languages. Here is the quiet tragedy of this entire dynamic. You, perhaps with a more anxious or secure style, speak love with words, reassurance, and consistent presence. They, with their avoidant style, speak love with quiet acts of service, protective anxiety, and the agonizing effort it takes to simply stay in the room. You are speaking two different languages. You are screaming, "I love you" in English, and they are silently showing it in a language you don't understand. And they can't understand why their actions aren't enough for you, and you can't understand why your words are so threatening to them. By the time they learn a few words of your language, you've often become exhausted. You've learned to love the peace of your own silence. And by the time you learn to see their silent signs, you've often already left because their love, while real, was not enough to make you feel safe. Understanding this is the key to forgiving them and to forgiving yourself. This is Dr. Kola B. Thank you for being here and holding space for this deep, complex conversation. If this episode shined a light on a past relationship and brought you a measure of peace or clarity, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And now that you understand the why behind their behavior, you're ready for the next logical question. Why do they always come back right when you've moved on? That is our next episode, and it's the one that ties all of this together. You don't want to miss it. Remember, your worth was never in question. You were just speaking a different language. I'll see you next time.